So when you close the school and destabilize the community,
That's right.
we get more policing.
That's right.
We get more kids being harmed. We get the inter-community violence, and nobody wants to address the root causes of it, and most of the root causes wear a badge.
That's right.
So if we want to be real about this, we got to be real. We got to come to a solution. We got to come to clues, because the clues lie within the communities in which have been harmed.
That's right.
I represent the South Side, the far South Side, the Wild Hunnets. I represent a community that's over-policed. But we represent a community that's over-policed. But we just got our first Walmart maybe 4 years ago. Our first big store 4 years ago. So when we talk about economic justice, we need to talk about transit justice, because there's too many black families and Latino families who cannot afford to travel all the way downtown to go to a store. Who cannot afford to do what is needed for the basic necessities. There's no reason a mother with her 2 kids and a shopping cart has to board 3 buses to get to a grocery store.
That's right. That's right.
But then we got more CPD than more buses running on a daily basis. I live in a neighborhood that if the 115 runs out and you live by that 115 and that 111, you stuck walking from Michigan all the way to Cottage.
That's right.
Wow.
Late at night. So all them people doing that late night shift at Dutch Farms, at Kellogg, and all them other factories that's over there, gotta walk all the way from Michigan to the community.
Right.
And we represent that community.
Right.
So I got Veronica on the mic.
So we're gonna do this the right way, right? So I need all the young black people to come right here. But right here, so all of y'all that are right here, I need y'all to back up. And I need y'all to make room for the young black people who have been in the streets, who've been organizing these protests when it first dropped, who've been out here doing really amazing work. I need all my BYP 100, all my Fly, all my Assata's Daughters people to come right here to the center of this circle.
Come on over here. Let's get in the streets. Make that clear. Y'all get up there. Yes. Yes.
And what I don't want is for any elder to feel some type of way about us centering ourselves. Because the reality is that Laquan McDonald was 17 years old.
That's right.
And he was shot 16 times.
Yes.
And he is not the only young person that has been targeted by CPD,
yes,
that has died due to the violence in Chicago, period.
That's right.
And a lot of reporters and people were asking, well, why didn't Chicago riot? Why didn't Chicago riot? Because Chicago has a black youth organizing community that is strong.
Yes.
And we organize with our people and for our people.
Yes.
I was just here, the last time we was here, it was Wednesday, and BYP 100 and the Say Her Name campaign was here demanding that Dante Servin be fired. That was the last time that we were standing right here.
Yes.
And the last time that we were standing here before that, we were here with BYP 100 demanding, and Say Her Name demanding that Dante Servin be fired, right? I'm a young person who's a part of Fly, and for the past 5 years, Fly has been fighting to get a trauma center on the south side of Chicago.
There he is right there, Mr. McKay. Almost got it.
But when it came out that this dash cam footage was about to be released and it was about to hit the streets, the people who surrounded me was young black people.
All right. Come on.
Yes.
And we sat over the weekend before this video came out in really long meetings on the weekend after organizing all week. And we said, let's create spaces for young people.
Yes.
And when that video came out, we were all together. We had space that we invited young black people to, and we allowed them to say how they felt.
Yes.
We allowed them to feel, right? And when the actual video came out, we took to the streets.
That's right.
People got their hair pulled by cops. People were assaulted and punched by cops.
Yes.
I have bruises over my legs from being hit with bikes.
Yes. Correct. Shame.
People were arrested.
Yes.
Folks were almost framed.
Correct.
And the people who were on the front lines in these moments were young black people.
Yes. Hey, let's give them a hand.
And so, more than just clapping for us, what we need to do is for folks need to respect our leadership.
Yes.
Because it is real.
They need to respect them. That's right.
And when folks like Jesse Jackson or whoever organizes these large marches, instead of just calling us out for a photo op,
Yes.
they need to call us out and say, what are your demands? What have you been demanding in the protests that you organize? Because make no mistake, it is because of the demands of the young black organizations that are represented behind me that McCarthy got fired.
That's right. Come on. Y'all did it.
Young black people have been demanding the most radical demands that the city has seen to date. BYP didn't say suspend Dante Servin. BYP didn't say just take his pension. They said fire him. That's right. And the city fired him. When we got to those streets, we said, no, don't charge McCarthy. Fire him.
Fire.
Then charge him if you want, but get rid of him. Get rid of the mayor. Get rid of Anita Alvarez. Get rid of police.
Yeah.
We're not just saying, like some elders are saying, make more police officers look like us. We said, get rid of police. And so, as a community, right, I beg y'all and I urge y'all to follow the leadership of young black people, because if folks really believe that we are the future, let us lead us there. If we are the future, let us lead us there. Let us get in front of these cameras and say our messaging and say our demands, because we have worked hard. We have worked tirelessly. And it's not taken away from nobody or no work that anybody else has done. But at some point, the baton has got to be passed.
Yes, and I have passed it on.
At some point, folks who stand out front have to get behind somebody.
That's right. Come on.
And if this moment has not proven that we are worthy leaders to get behind,
yes, y'all are.
Then I don't know what else will.
Yes. Let's keep on working. Let's keep on working.
I'm honored to stand here with all of these young people, all of these beautiful black young people, because they have held me as we've held each other. And because we are getting shit done. So we gonna turn up for a minute, because this is a celebration. We are happy. So we're going to turn up, and then we're going to put everybody else back in the circle, and we'll give a few speeches. But right now, we want to celebrate.
All the cops have got to go. 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 Back up, back up. We want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, need them. What? Back up. We want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, need them.
As Rachel said earlier, we do this work because it's our lives on the line, right? We also do this work because I have a little brother, right, that could have easily been Laquan McDonald, right, or any other young person that's been killed due to gun violence in Chicago. And what's really important for us is centering the families and giving the families a chance to say their piece, right? Because they're the ones who knew these people, they're the ones who love these people, they're the ones who can appreciate the value in the life of these young people beyond the stories, right? And so at this time, I want to give Mike an opportunity to speak about and introduce one of the families that are directly affected here tonight.
Hello, how's everybody? This is a battle that we won. We have some more battles to go. It's a long war, but let's celebrate this battle. Let's celebrate these victories, for sure. Right now, one of my co-workers, I want to introduce her. Her son was killed by the police in Calumet City. He was 15 years old with autism. He had a butter knife in his hand, and that's the formula they use. He has a weapon. And they shot him twice and killed him.
That ain't right.
In their home. And Anita Alvarez, I'll let her tell that part, but she let the cops slide, of course.
Either gotta go.
So right now, it's my honor to introduce a warrior. Believe me when I say, these families are represented by warrior mothers and family members. Yes, yes. And this is a true one right here. Ms. Danilyn Watts Powell.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm so proud to see all these young children, young people, fighting for justice. My son was only 15 years old, and the village of Calumet City is familiar with him. As a chief went on the news and said they are familiar with Stephon Edward Watts. Stephon Edward Watts was also familiar with the Calumet City police officers. Reason being, he have autism. And his social worker and his doctor always tell us, if he gets agitated and they tell him to go to his quiet place and he's not hearing you, don't aggravate him any further, have the police assist you, put him in the ambulance. That's the only reason Calumet City police know Stephon Edward Watts. Not because he was a kid running around in Calumet City like the chief of police criminalized my son in the news, in the media, and the media didn't help. They never listened to Stephon's side, they only listened to the chief's side. They have only assistants put him in the ambulance, and a lot of media don't want to hear this, and even if they hear it, they will not publicize it. It is public record that Stephon did not stab the police officer Robert Eineck like the chief went in the news and lie about. Robert Eineck and William Coffey was at my house March 20th, 2011. So they know my son, Stephon Edward Watts. They have dealt with the Calumet City Police Department. I've never seen Stephon 10 times like the chief stated. They have seen him 3 times, and the 4th time they murdered him. About 4 times Stephon leave the house, and because we know he don't understand what's going on out in the street, we have always reported him missing. And his dad, Stephen Edward Watts, always found him. The police didn't find him, so they didn't have any dealing with him then. And many times, Stephen take off with Stephon if I called, or his brother Stephen Edward Watts Jr. called. He said to me, Donna, stop calling Calumet City police officers. They're gonna murder Stephon one day. Even his brother Wayne Watts tell me that. I said, no, Stephen, they're trained and professional. They will not hurt him. Because I myself used to work for Dalton Police Station. I have brothers who are police officers, and nieces and nephews who are in the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army. So I'm familiar with police officers. And they're good police officers, and they're bad police officers. But 2 bad police officers came in my house, and that fateful day, February 1st, 2012, a morning after I came from work, I work at the Ford plant at 130th. I help build police cars. I inspect the cars when they come out that they have in for defect. And on that day, William Coffey, Robert Eineck, shot Stephon in his chest because he had a butter knife. And they were never in the basement like the chief make it seem as if they were in the basement. Stephon and his dad was in the basement. They stand up at my back door at the foot of the stairs. Stephon and his dad stand at the foot of the stairs. Robert Hynek shot him in his chest. And it is public record, everybody. Robert Hynek shot him in his chest and he went down. And while he was on all four, his hands and his knees, this criminal shot my son in his back, killing him instantly. This killer, who is the same age as my 33-year-old son, I could have given birth to this boy here. He shot and killed my son instantly. In his deposition, when my attorney asked him, based on what you know, would you have done what you done to my son? I pulled my seat up and I looked dead in his face, and he said yes. He didn't flinch. He stared dead at me and tell me yes, I would murder your son again. Basically, that's what he said. Wow. And you guys can check the deposition. It's in the deposition. They murdered my son, and the chief and the state attorney ruled it justified. The Indiana coroner, you guys can check the public record, ruled it a homicide. But she, the state attorney, ruled it homicide and justifiable homicide. And they murdered my son. That's exactly what they did. And I'm not telling any story. If you guys don't believe me, news media, because you all are the one that helped the chief criminalize my son, stating that Stefan stabbed Robert Hynek. He had no wounds on him. Zero. His partner testified he never sees Stefan touch his partner. But yet still they lied that Stefan stabbed them. And this is another police cover-up by our state attorney. Voters, I'm one. We are the one that can get rid of her. Right. Because she's not for the people. She's not of the people. She got to go. She must go, people. She must go. Because the only way that our young youth can survive, these are people that take oath to do no harm. My son have autism and they know that. He stated my house is coded. Any call come from my house, they know that somebody with a mental disability live in my house. And yet still they come and murder my 15-year-old autistic son. And they know he have autism. In their deposition they stated they knew from 2011, March 20th, 2011. I need the community at large, to get her out. Only we can bring justice to our young youth. Thank you guys.
Justice for Stefan.
Justice for Stefan.
Justice for them all.
Justice for them all.
Justice for Stefan.
Justice for Stefan.
Justice for them all.
Justice for them all.
Right now I want to bring up a few people. Dorothy Holmes, who is the mother of Ronnie Man Johnson, who was killed 8 days before Laquan McDonald. He was killed by Officer George Hernandez, who claimed that he was shooting because Ronnie Man was holding a gun. There's a dash cam video. There's another dash cam video out there that the city is hiding. Dorothy is suing the city, demanding that they release the dash cam video, proving that George Hernandez was lying and he did not have a gun. We ask that while we're here celebrating that McCarthy is gone,
that we focus on all of the others that still need justice. Please go online and sign the petition to demand that the dash cam video is immediately released. We are not done fighting. This is one victory in a war, right? We have won a small battle, but we got a long way to go. And we are here because of all of you. And we are here, most importantly, because of these families that refuse to remain silent. We stand with Dorothy. We stand with Danaline. We also stand with Pansy Edwards, who is here. Pansy, please come up. Pansy is the mother of Dakota Bright, who was killed 3 years ago. And you know what? They have not even released his autopsy to his mother. This is how they treat victims' families. They have not even released the police report. They won't release the name of the officer who killed him. This is her baby. This is her son. We demand justice. We are not done fighting. We demand Anita Alvarez resign. We demand Ron resign. And we demand an overhaul of the entire system. This system is corrupt. Now, the other person that we have up here is Frank Chapman, who is the head of the Chicago Alliance. The Chicago Alliance has been working for over 40 years to develop an elected civilian accountability council that would have the power to vote in and vote out police officers. These people, the council would be represented by people in all of the neighborhoods. Now, can you imagine something like that? Right now, all we have are appointees. Rahm Emanuel appointed everyone that's on the Chicago Police Board. Rahm Emanuel appointed everyone that's on the educational board. We don't have people who are accountable at any level, which is the least that they can do, right? That's the least that they can do, is to at least have a facade of an election, but Rahm Emanuel won't even do that. So Frank is going to explain a little bit about CPAC and explain what the future could look like if we had power, if we can take power, and we will take power. We are taking power, and victory is on our side.
Thank you. Well, the first thing I want to say, right, all power to the people. All power to the people. All power to the people. Every bit of it. Okay, the first thing I want to say is I want to express the attitude of my organization, Chicago Alliance Against Racism and Political Oppression, towards the youth. This is our attitude. Act bad as you want to. Act bad as you want to. We are so glad to have you in the movement and so glad to have you leading this struggle. Ain't no competition between us. We want to fight together. We want to fight. I'm an old warrior. I'm an old warrior. I ain't about to lay down. We're going to fight, and we're going to fight together. Okay? What are we fighting for?
Justice.
Justice. Justice. Power to the people.
Power to the people.
We want an all-elected, all-civilian police accountability council. Why do we want that? We want that because these criminals who are currently running this system is never going to give us justice. They're never going to correct themselves. And so we got to do the correcting. If we don't have the power to make the change, ain't no change going to be made.
We need to let our people go.
So what we're fighting for, is a change in the relationship between the police and the people in our communities.
Yes.
We want to give the people that power. We want the people to have the power to determine who's going to be the superintendent of the police. Right. Who's going to sit on the independent review boards. Right. In fact, there is no such thing as an independent review board. We want a community control board. A board that controls the police. We want CPAC. That's what we want. So when I say CPAC, you say fight back. CPAC. Fight back. CPAC. Fight back. CPAC. Fight back. CPAC. Fight back. Damn right.
You holding our children in jail too long. Anita Alvarez, let all of them go. You don't have any innocent children locked up for 2 years awaiting trial.
All right, sister, we hear you. Now we're going to hear from Pansy Edwards, the mother of Dakota Bright.
Hi, everybody. November 8th made 3 years since my son was shot in the back of his November 8th made 3 years since my 15-year-old son, Dakota Bright, was shot in the back of his head and laid lying in the backyard for 4 to 5 hours. And I'm still out here today because we still looking for justice, you know. I'm really fighting for answers. Don't seem like we gonna get none, but I see, when I come out here and I see stuff like this, it makes me happy to stand alongside everybody, because it shows me that people care about my son like all our kids. Right. And it makes me happy because every day I fight for this. I'm Dakota World crazy, and I'm gonna die getting justice for my baby.
That's right. That's right. No justice, no peace. 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 No racist police. No justice, no peace. Tweet. DJ, I need the DJ to the music, DJ.
Down with Anita Alvarez.
Down with her.
Down with Robbie Manuel.
Fuck Robbie Manuel.
Down with Anita Alvarez.
Make a change, register and vote.
So, at this time,
Vote them out.
At this time, I would like to invite one of the most passionate and powerful young poets I know, Ito!
That's bro. That jacket.
Peace, family.
Peace.
My name is Ethos. I'm a poet, an organizer, and a prison and police abolitionist.
Hello.
Born and raised on the far north side of this city. When I say abolition, that means that I think these systems, these institutions of policing and incarceration are in fact not broken, but in doing exactly what they were implemented to do. And that is to get rid of people and communities they deem expendable. And these past few weeks, as I've been with BYP, I'm an organizer with BYP 100, and I've been with Fly, and I've been with Assata's daughters. We've been sitting here talking about this video and our responses to it. And I'm just realizing how, in society, how normalized our death has become. How they can show images of a child getting murdered on TV, and that's normal. That's every day. I've been having to see it every day. And people keep coming up to me, telling me to be calm, telling me to heal. What the fuck I'm finna heal from? The trauma never stopped. It never stopped. This piece I wrote the night the video of Laquan McDonald dropped. It's called The Normalization of Black Death.
One mic, one mic.
Wow.
One mic. Hold on before you start. Let them quiet down. Y'all gonna respect my bro. It's respect.
Respect. Respect.
Okay,
as long as there has been a United States, black people been dehumanized. Honestly. Racism in 2015 America is just an extension of slavery. I wonder which slave ship machine changed my DNA to a white man's property. They've been screaming about some riots. We've been conditioned to crisis, satellite surveillance, and worldwide terror is committed by whiteness, not ISIS. You could say I got West African blood, but ancestors ain't come here by choice. The possibility of me untangling my roots ends in Aurora, Illinois. That's where my granny used to stay when my pops was a little boy, but before that, my lineage fades to black through back roads to southern citadels, plantation outposts of America. This country's Israel. Anti-black is more than a theory. It's in the numbers too. It's when Deshaun shoots Darius, he gets 200 years. When Officer kills Darius, he gets 2. It's 2 million people in jail, too many, and half of them look like me. It's 400 black people lynched by the police without one noose or one tree. It's nuances, like a slight infliction on my voice, a curl of a lock like might lose me a job, or the fact that the only reason they got wealth is the labor of my great-granddad's pops. It's America's melting pot. Black flesh don't melt, it just sizzles and pops and gathers together at the bottom. We the prize in the cereal box. If you a felon, gotta check the box. Gotta check your anger and aggression, cause being black and being mad means you could be black and dead in a second. Black means you only get freedom in heaven. Black means bias in school closings and testing. Black means forced sterilization, test tube examinations, blatant dismissal with no repentance. Respect is only to be bought. It don't matter how much we fought, cause we can look at the 60s and we can fast forward to now and we'll know it was all for naught. We could go back a fortnight or 407 or 400 years ago. Still don't got our humanity, still don't got our freedom, still trapped by the new Jim Crow, still.
Come on, boy.
Whoa, am I alive? I woke up in social death. My body doesn't feel real anymore. I can't feel anymore. The trauma never fucking stopped. I can't heal anymore. So yeah, we fight. I could die tonight, but swear to God, I can't fear anymore. The end is coming. The teardrops won't stop till it does. That's why we tat up our faces. Ain't going belly up, nigga. Enough is enough. The hate you give little infants is raging. So fuck everyone. Fuck the witness. Fuck whiteness. And motherfucker copping his badge. Fuck Rob. Fuck Gary McCarthy. And motherfuck Anita Alvarez. They want me to stop, but I can't. In my head, all I see is black death. They want me to stop, but I can't. All I see is black death.